Hello everyone, welcome to Smart Future, the future of finance, which is cryptocurrency and apparently Forex trading. And in today's analysis, we're going to be discussing about cable, which is pound against the dollar. The short form of saying that is just by saying cable. And from the look of what we are looking at on the monthly right now, we are carrying out a top-down analysis from the monthly down to the daily to know where our entries and exits will be for this week's market. And from the look of what the monthly is showing us, it's, to my understanding, showing us that this market has been on a downtrend for a while. As you can see, the market has been creating lower lows and lower highs coming down, failing to break up of its previous lower high, came down to creating a lower low again, and yet it has failed to break out of the previous lower high. So we could see this apparently still come down in the near future, or break out to the upside until proven otherwise. This is still a downtrend. So moving down to the weekly, we can see that the weekly is also peradventure saying a different thing entirely. It's giving us a different information. We are seeing some sort of uptrend on the weekly. It looks like what was once looking like a downtrend on the monthly is looking like an uptrend here on the weekly, and that's because we're going to be focusing on just this information here to know what the market is going to be doing. Not that the other informations are null and void. They are not. They are just giving us a direction in the market. And as you can see here, some sort of a W pattern is forming in this particular zone, of which market could decide to either break out of or come back down before breaking out of in the market. So this might actually be an opportunity for the market to actually change trend to the upside if it's able to summon the willpower to break above this zone here. So and that job will be left for the bulls in the market to push the price to a lot more higher highs in the coming future. But this is the information on the weekly, and when we go straight down to the daily, we would realize that as it is seen in the weekly, there's also a W pattern here. There's a lot of confluence that happened around here, of which the market broke out of initially to the upside, only to come back down to test the neckline for continuation to the upside. And as you can see as well, there's also a W pattern here, a very minute W pattern here, and the market is also coming down to test that W pattern, and a lot of confluence here deciding whether the market should go up and break out of this zone or come down. In that case, so you could see market either break out of this zone to the upside, or come down a little more to get more buy positions in the market. But as it stands now, market is giving two different informations, although it's still respecting this W patterns neckline. So there's every possibility we could see market still push back up to the upside. It all depends on who has the more power in the market. Is it the bulls that are controlling this market, or the bears that are controlling this market? And the other way for us to know that is by having an order flow. It's a tool that helps you know who is who in the market has the upper hand, what the institutions are buying and what institutions are selling in the market. So that way you would be able to know where the direction of the market is going to be heading in the coming days. And as of today, the market is ranging in this zone, and you might just see either a breakout or some little more downside before a breakout to the upside. One of those can play out. And as we all know, the market is reactive and not predictive, so we need to go back down to the 4-hour or the 1 hour for entries and exits to figure out positions where the market is respecting for entry zones and exit zones. So apparently this market is on an uptrend, and it still looks like the bulls are in control of this market, as we are seeing that every single time the market comes back down to test this support zone, this was one support on resistance, and now we are seeing the resistance turn support again. Support here, resistance here, support here, support here, resistance here, resistance here again, and then we are seeing the place being tested as support once again. So there is a lot of respect of this particular zone. So there's a possibility we see this zone being respected and then it pushes back up, or the zone be disrespected and it comes back down to a much lower positions to take a lot more buy orders before pushing back up. So for us to be sure of that, we need to go down to the 4-hour to see what the 4-hour is telling us. And from the looks of this 4-hour, you can see the market really respecting the 200 EMA, and on the 4-hour, like it is doing here. On the daily it's respecting the 50 EMA, and on the 4-hour it's respecting the 200 EMA very, very well, creating some sort of structural pattern as we speak, which might indicate a lot more push to the upside. Although for the time being, there's been some disrespect of the higher lows in the market. There's a higher lows in the market. Okay, so there's been a disrespect of those zones, and that might create a confluence in mind where exactly this market will be heading to. Will it go up and continue to break out of the zone, or will it respect it and continue to the downside? Because when the market breaks a certain higher low, that might be an indication for a change in the trend of the market, at least for that period of time. And then we might see market respect this zone and then continue coming down. So whatever the market does, either way, the confirmation will be settled in once the market breaks above this. Once the market breaks above the 50 EMA on the 4-hour. Until then, there's nothing much we can say or do unless we have an order flow that tells us what the institutions are buying and or selling in the market. So this wraps up the end of this cable analysis. If you need to find entries and exits in the market, if you need signals, you can do well to reach out to me on my Telegram channel. And then if you also would like to understand Forex trading on a deeper note, for your own benefit, probably you also want to be a trader yourself and you want to be educated on how to go about it without having to follow or copy anyone's signals, I can also be of help in that direction to teach you all that you need to know about Forex trading, and also give you an edge in the markets for you to be a successful trader as a newbie in the system. So do well to like and subscribe for more trading analysis on this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.